Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Flappers Green Room episode of the Political Vigilante. We're here with another person that's a regular panelist on the Jimmy Dore Show, Ron Placone.
Hello. Good to see you, Graham.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for doing the show. So, what is the one issue? I know there's multiple issues, but what is, in your opinion, the single most important issue that we're faced with that needs to be addressed, and how would you fix it?
Well, I feel like healthcare, which I know is like a very vanilla answer, but we don't have
pie in the sky, hippie.
Right. We don't have the healthcare that most of the rest of the industrialized world, well, all of the rest of the industrialized world takes for granted. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, I'm straight up. You don't support single payer, you don't get my vote. Period. You do support single payer, and you for real support single payer. You don't, say you're supporting single payer and sound like you're in a confessional booth.
Right, and then cut the legs out somebody,
like some people. Like I know you genuinely are supporting single payer. Then you might get my vote. And so I think that's the biggest. As we're staring at a single payer now bumper sticker, that way in the green room. That is from one of the live Jimmy Dore shows, I believe. They pass them out here, but. I think that's the single biggest issue. That's always been a huge issue for me for years now. I wasn't behind Obama in the 2008 primary because he wasn't the single payer guy. Dennis Kucinich was. I got behind him later, but that's always been a big thing to me. And now it turns out most of the country's ready for it.
So how do we attain it?
How do we attain it? Well, I think that first of all we need to, we had our baby step. Everyone's like, well, it's incremental. Like, okay, well, we had the Affordable Care Act. That was incremental. That got a lot more people having health insurance. So now we got to go a step further. We got to realize that this for-profit middleman is broken, completely broken, and not to mention morally repulsive. And what we do then is that we just kind of...
You mean it's morally repulsive to have to go on Indiegogo to get a surgery?
Yeah, it's gross. And the fact that they celebrate that on Indiegogo, they make commercials celebrating it. They're like, Grandpa got a new kidney thanks to our crowdsourcing.
And we took 10% of it.
Yeah, right? Like, the crowdsourcing is what you do when you want to build a podcast studio or you have a dream.
Or you make a podcast movie.
Right. There you go. And so... Yeah, people are realizing that this system is broken. We kind of redo the way we put our resources. We can afford this 1,000,000 times over if we address the military-industrial complex, if we address all the money. We're already spending more. These people are like, how are we going to pay for this? We already spend it. Well, we spend the money.
That extra $80 billion that they just voted to give Trump for his military budget, that Tim Kaine, Kamala Harris, and Dianne Feinstein voted for and approved, that $80 billion right there could give us health care.
Yeah, and I mean, even here in California, where, it was Democrats that stopped single payer from happening here. When they talk about, they're like, well, it would take up X amount from the budget, and the budget is X. Yeah, but look at the GDP and look at what we're spending in healthcare already. We're already spending that money. We wouldn't spend it there because we'd be spending it elsewhere, and the overall GDP would be lower. Nobody liked to talk about that part. It's like the most ridiculous. It's like, hey, I got this car payment that's $300 a month. Well, hey, if we redo this, your car payment, you're going to have a much better car, and it's going to be $200 a month. I can't afford another $200 a month.
Yeah,
that $300 payment, that's going away.
That's gone.
You're paying the $300 now. It's not going to be $500. And you said this before. I mean, we pay for healthcare thrice.
Yes.
Because you pay your monthly, which is a jacked up premium. You pay when you have your copay because they don't cover anything, and you pay for any additional medicine that they don't cover. So I mean, you're paying 3 times over. We already pay more and get less. So it's like you just kind of redo the numbers. And I'm not a math surgeon, as we say on this show, but I mean, we can do it 1,000,000 times over. It's very attainable, and it starts by voting for people that actually will put forth those policies and won't put insurance interests first.
So that's your. For you, it's just the ironclad line in the sand that you won't back down from purity test of who you're going to vote for.
Yeah, I mean, if that's an unreasonable purity test, you got me. I mean, it's like you don't support single payer, you're not getting my vote. I'll leave the ticket blank and just vote on initiatives if I don't have an option for president. If I don't have an option for the midterms, again, I'll just vote on initiatives. Or I'll write somebody in. I don't care. You don't support single payer, you're not getting my vote, period.
Outstanding, Ron
Yeah.
Placone.
Life's too short to vote out of fear, and it doesn't work. That's what this election showed us.
Ugh.
How many people voted for Hillary out of fear twice? A lot of people. They voted for her out of fear in the primary because they thought Bernie couldn't win because they were fed that bullshit. And then they did the same thing in the general because they were that scared of Trump. So voting out of fear doesn't work, people. So don't do it anymore.
Yeah, and it's
I'm not.
interesting. It's like when I did the interview with Dave Reinitz, he talked about a third party would be the labor, like a labor party. And I think you tie in single payer to that because that is, again,
Yeah.
labor and healthcare is something that relates to everybody. It's not a liberal or red state or blue state issue or conservative issue. It is a human issue.
Absolutely.
And when you get politicians that run that type of platform, a human issue, an American issue, a decency issue, a moral issue, then everybody will get on board versus the 5 stupid issues that the 2 dumb parties fight over normally.
Right.
Which they're both, the Republicans and Democrats are paid off equally by the healthcare industry.
Yep.
And
Big
Big
time.
Pharma, which is the 2 places that are trying to stop single payer.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, well, and I heard this thing recently that, like, my generation, the dreaded millennials, that they were saying that our left looks more like the left of the 30s, like in the left that led to strong unions and a strong middle class and stuff like that. And they were saying it as if, like, this is not a good thing. And I was thinking, that's freaking awesome. Are you kidding me? You know why? Because all these, like, surface-oriented issues that get shoved down our throat, we're over it. You know,
well, we're done. And
a
you
lot
know
of
what?
us are fine that a woman has a right to choose. That's just the way it is.
Right.
You know, a lot of us are fine with LGBT and we're all about those rights. You know, I mean, socially, we're further now, and the generation after us is even further. They don't even understand racism most of the time. So, you know, we've gone further now. So now it's about classism, and it's about, you know, and all those issues are intertwined.
Well, you guys also saw classism crumble. You were in high school or college or whatever when your parents all lost their homes and their jobs in the '08 crash. So you saw that. You saw your parents, who were probably mostly baby boomers, who were sold this American dream. You get the good job and you get the thing, you get the house and the bang, boom, boom, which is what the American dream was all built on, and then that was a lie. So you guys are starting adulthood going, oh, this is all bullshit.
Yeah.
You saw your friends, you know, go to Iraq and Afghanistan and all that stuff for bullshit corporate wars. But anyway, we got a show to do, but I really appreciate it, Ron. Where can people find you on the internet?
Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone. RonPlacone.com has everything else.
And who knows, maybe there's like a progressive comedy tour that might get put together. Ooh. Support the Patreon, patreon.com, like and subscribe. My name is Graham Elwood.